Have you ever been for a poo in the dark? It's pretty difficult, I think. I mean, those pit latrines, as a woman, it's difficult to aim at the best of times. In the dark, it's really hard. And the reason I'm talking about this is not just to overshare. It's to share with you some of the things that we've been looking at in the project that we're running on gender-based violence and lighting and the effect that it can have. When there's no lighting, people have difficulty with aim, and there can be faeces all over the latrine. When that does happen, it means that fewer people use those latrines. And what we found through the literature review we've been doing around lighting and gender-based violence is that the fewer people there are around, the more likely it is that gender-based violence, so rape, sexual assault, happen in those places like latrines that everybody has to use, especially in a camp environment. What we've been looking at in the literature review are reports from different countries that tell us that the more people there are in a place, the more eyes on the street, the less likely it is that rape is going to happen in that location. And that means that we need to try and make wash facilities, latrines, light and attractive places for people to use, so we can get as many people using them as possible. This also leads us on to some of the other findings around social cohesion. So many people have been talking about the fact that in many camps that we're working in, people are using lamps that are solar powered, battery powered, rather than kerosene lamps, which often caused a lot of fires. However, that led us on to looking into ideas around social cohesion, because the fire has traditionally been a place where communities come together in the evening, they discuss issues and things that have been going wrong in the community, problems that people might have, and they resolve them around the fire, they tell stories, and it's actually a place of safety and a place of community building. And taking that away has destroyed some of the social and community coping mechanisms that people have. And once the community structures start to break down, that's when we are seeing an increase in sexual violence. So we have to take that into consideration when we're looking at lighting and the types of lighting that we're using to try and reduce the amount of rape and sexual violence that's happening around latrines. One of the things we found in the literature review was that lighting itself, although it meant that people were able to see each other, and this meant you could avoid people if they looked suspicious, or people were less likely to be able to hide in the shadows, it also meant that people felt like their environment was cared for. It meant that people weren't going to the toilet all over the latrine, all over the wash facility in the dark because they couldn't see, that the place was cleaner, the place was lighter, more people were using it, and people felt like their environment was cared for. And when people feel like their environment is cared for, they're much more likely to care for each other within that environment, and it actually builds social cohesion. These are some of the things we're finding from the literature review that we're going to be exploring more in the field. Next week I'll be in Iraq, where we're going to be starting the field implementation of the research, and then we'll be off to Nigeria and Uganda for the rest. But we're still looking for more of your stories from the field. If you've got any information, if you've been working on anything to do with lighting, gender-based violence, sexual violence, rape, around wash facilities or in a camp environment, please get in touch.